Good morning, students. Welcome to the lecture 1 of probability and statistics dedicated for GATE DA 2027 exam. So lecture 1. So before directly jump into the probability, we will build the foundation which is known as elements of probability. So topics of today's lectures are: number 1 is random experiment. At first we will learn what random experiment is. Then we will learn about sample space, and the most important thing is event and probability itself. So topic 1 is random experiment. So what random experiment really is? The definition is, random experiment is those kind of experiments which exact outcome is unknown, but the set of all possible outcome is known. Like tossing a coin. If we toss a coin, we don't know what will be the outcome, but we know that either it will be the head or the tail. So once again, random experiments are those kinds of experiments which exact outcome is unknown, but the set of all possible outcomes is known. Another example of random experiment is drawing a card. We all know there are 52 cards. If we draw a card, this is the example of random experiment. The fourth random experiment is guessing a number. If we guess a number between 1 to 10, this is also a example of random experiment. The second topic is sample space. So what sample space is? The set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is known as sample space. Let's see. Suppose the first example of random experiment is tossing a coin. What is the sample space of it? The sample space is always denoted by S. The sample space of tossing a coin is head and tail. Sample space of throwing a die is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Sample space of drawing a card, that is 1 to 52, 51, 52. Guess a number. Sample space of guess a number between 1 to 10. Suppose give you an experiment, guess a number between 1 to 10. We all know about magic tricks. There the number guessing game is always happen. So sample space of guessing a number between 1 to 10 is 1, 2 up to 10. So the sample space of these experiments are here. Another thing we need to know, that is number of elements in sample space, that is represented by mod of S or cardinality of S. So here mod of S is 2. There are only 2 elements in tossing a coin, head and tail. There are 6 elements in throwing a die. So cardinality of sample space or mod of sample space here is 6. In this case, mod of sample space is 52, and in this case this is 10. So sample space, what is sample space again? Set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is known as sample space. So what I have already explained to you here is written here. I also provide you the PDF, entire PDF of this class, so don't worry. Just focus on the understanding. So here is the example of sample space. The third topic of today is event. This is the most important topic of elements of probability. After understanding these 3 topics, we are good to go with probability. So what event is? Any subset of sample space is known as event. Exactly what that means. Head and tail. Tail is an event. Here 1 is an event, 6 is an event. So probability of getting a head is an event. Probability of getting a tail is an event. If I throw a die, probability of getting a 6 is an event. Probability of getting a 3, probability of getting a 1, everything is an event. Any subset of sample space is known as event. So example of events. Example 1 is, suppose there is a random experiment of throwing a die. What is the sample space here? Here sample space is, we all know, 1 to 6. So event, we will define event like this. Probability of getting a 6 is an event. Like that, probability of getting a 1 is also an event. Probability of getting a 2, 3, 4, everything is an event. So this is the random experiment, this is the sample space, and this is the event. Second example, suppose there are 6 balls in a bucket. 3 of them are red, 2 of them are green, and 1 is blue. If I give you a choice that you can pick the ball once, so what is the probability of you choose once and getting a blue ball or getting a green ball or getting a red ball? That is the example of event. Like that, here this is the sample space and event is getting 1 green ball. Pick a ball and probability of getting that is green. You pick another ball, what is the probability of getting a red ball? This is the example of event. This is how we represent event. So we have already learned about random experiment, sample space and event. So these 3 things are enough to learn about probability. So let's start learning probability. So before directly jump into the definition of probability, at first we will solve these two examples for understanding the concepts of probability. So what is probability? Probability is number of favorable outcomes or number of outcomes in event divided by total number of outcomes in sample space. So this is number of favorable outcomes. Here what is the event? What is the question? Question is probability of getting a 6. So if I throw a die, what is the probability of getting a 6? This is the question. Number of element in the sample space is 6. Already learned about this, is mod of S is equal to 6. So probability of getting a 6 is nothing but 1 divided by 6, that is 16.66%. Probability of event is equal to mod of event divided by mod of sample space. Now we will see the second example. So there are 6 balls in a bucket. As you can see, 3 balls are red, 2 balls are green, and one of them is blue. So you have to pick a ball with your eyes closed. What is the event? Event is probability of getting one green ball. What is the probability of getting one green ball? So we already learned that probability of any event is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by number of elements in sample space. We have to pick a green ball. Number of favorable outcomes are 2. Why? We already know there are 2 green balls. What is the number of favorable outcomes here? Here number of favorable outcomes is 2. Cardinality of sample space is equal to 6 here. Here the answer is 1 by 3 is equal to 33.33%. So now we will see the definition of probability. So probability is the measure of likelihood of an event to occur. Here the important point is probability is always measured of an event. So probability of an event E is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes present in sample space, that is mod of E divided by mod of S. This is the formula of probability.